Hey, Yetta, what do you know?
I know that in challenging times, there is opportunity.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
Welcome to Life's Inside Track. I'm Yetta Dekker.
And I'm Ken Dekker.
And we're excited that we get to share techniques, thoughts, tips, tools, and some tactics that we all need. We all deserve, you, I, everyone, so we can turn our house into home, our families thrive, and we live the very best life possible. We're going to consider in this segment that what we know about the real estate market and when we know about what's coming down the pipe, I guess, or what's ahead is actually something we can use for our good. So that even when the market is volatile, which we're going to agree that it is, if you're thinking it's volatile, we're in agreement with you. We don't have a crystal ball. People keep telling us to give them predictions for what's going to happen. And a lot of it is going to elude us because we're in unprecedented times.
Yeah. And yet, when times are tough, there's still, we get to rely on the foundation, the fundamentals of what's going on. And, you know, you may not know that. Fortunately, I know that because I'm in the industry and I'm looking at the stats and the charts and the different economists and different things so that I can get a feel for where's Canada going.
Right. And Ottawa specifically, right? We talk real estate very much is, if we haven't said this in a while, I think we need to say this today. Real estate is very much a hyper-local conversation. Right. There are some elements, which is what we're going to share today, that we can know about our country. We can know about our city at large. And then there's other things that are even more niched down.
Yeah. Yeah, you always want the expertise of a realtor that understands your local market, your local neighborhood, because even, you know, you cross the street and the market's different on the other side of the street than it is on this side.
Yeah, it absolutely is true.
Yeah.
And that's why we've spent the last 35 years, well, me almost 35 and you over 30 now. So I don't think you're a newbie
It's not
anymore.
over 30. No, just a couple months shy of 30 years in the real estate industry. Although I did work as your assistant for a couple years before I became licensed. So.
Yeah, like for 3. So you've been in the industry. We can give you, even if you didn't have the piece of paper, you were already reading the stats. You're already putting together the community newsletter that we're still doing now all these decades later. So, okay.
You're going to give me the 30?
I'll give you 30
Give me
plus.
the 30-year pin?
I'll give you the 30-year pin 2 months before you get the official pin.
Okay.
Anyway, that does give us some repetition that we've seen in the market. We have seen cycles. We are reading everything available really on real estate. So what we want to do today is just build what do we know that we can use for our good when we're making real estate decisions. Because maybe we're thinking, this is not a time to make a move. And maybe that's the very point. When that's what the majority are thinking, or more are thinking than others at other times, maybe that's the very time.
Yeah, it's kind of like the stock market. You know, they always say when the crowds are selling, that's when you want to be buying. And when the crowds are buying, that's when you want to be selling. And real estate is somewhat similar.
Yeah.
When there's a bit of a pause in the market, that's the time to go out and find a gem.
Because there are gems out there. And so what are some of those factors that we know that we can count on to help us make a wise decision?
Well, let's look at supply and demand, right? We know that the demand is high. We know that there's a bit of a delay or lag in the demand because of the higher interest rates now.
You said the demand is high, and now you said there's a lag.
A lag.
Okay, now you're confusing even me.
Okay, so the lag is in people actually buying.
Right.
The demand is there. They're sitting back, living with family, cohabitating. They're not able to buy because of affordability, because of interest rates. So one thing we know is immigration is not slowing down. The government is not turning the tap off on immigration.
Right. So immigration means there's still going to be need for housing.
Right.
May not be the same type of housing. It may be rental units, right? It may be affordable rental units, but we're still going to need places to live.
Right. The other thing is the age bracket. We have a huge cohort of people that are moving into the 25 to 40-year range of age, where that's where they're buying real estate. That's where they're buying their first home. Or that's when they're having families and need a bigger place. So that group of people are coming up. The other thing we know is baby boomers are aging in place. They're aging longer in their existing homes. There's a lot of wealth buildup in baby boomers. So many are staying in their homes. They're hiring out the things they can't do, the cleaning, the cutting the grass, the shoveling the snow. They're hiring that all out so they can age in home longer.
And so when Ken says age in home, what he means is continue to live somewhat independently, but certainly living in their own residence rather than selling it and moving into a rental apartment. We're seeing some of that. There is certainly always has been some of that taking place, but we have clients that are in their 90s that continue to stay in their home.
Right. Now, the other thing we know is that with higher interest rates, building starts are actually down. The government wants more building starts than they have in previous years, but this year they're actually down. And that is because of the uncertainty in the market. It's costing more for builders to build because of their cost of money, the interest rates, because most builders don't have the cash to go out and build houses as inventory. They have to borrow that money while they're building it, and there's no income on that. So that puts higher risk. So they're actually starting fewer homes. And we're also seeing some inventory homes sitting and builders having to adjust pricing to get them to go.
Right. And so what we mean by inventory homes is when a builder chooses, and this would be sometimes tract building where they're building, 10 different models and you can choose which one you want. Or sometimes even with custom builders, there's certainly in the last 35 years, we've watched different builders at different times have an inventory home or a show home or a model home or something that they can show people what it is they build and show the various models potentially. And those in the last 4, 5, 6 years, there's been virtually no availability of what we might call an inventory, a leftover home not sold. And now we're starting to see some of them that were used as a model home that now no longer needs to be used as a model home.
Yep.
And it's not even selling. Or something they actually built with the intention of pre-selling while it was under construction, right. And then it never sold.
Right, so now they didn't adjust their prices to what happened to the market. So now they're slowly adjusting their pricing to catch up to the market. And if you want to stay together with us and really connect, just send us an email at together@dekkerteam.com. And we'd love to connect with you and give you updates and keep the conversation going.
Yeah, because we can't, once a week, it's kind of nice. We can get together on Life's Inside Track and share those insights once a week. And yet what we really want to make sure is that you get the information when it's fresh and new. And when you have a specific question, we want to answer that. Right?
So I guess the question is, what value do you see in what you already know and what you need to know? And we're grateful to be partnering with you to position you to build wealth wisely, because it's about much more than just money.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.